All right. That should about do it. Sure, nobody really needs anything on me. Hey guys. Hey, how we doing? Hey, it's Tech. It's Tech Tinko. How you guys doing? We're back. Although, if you're watching these, if you're watching the VODs as they come out, maybe no time has passed for you. It would seem, because I'm a little slow on the releases of that. Hey, whatever, man. They're getting out. People are seeing them at some point. I'm finding very interesting. I'm finding. I think it's interesting to look at view counts on some of these, especially since. I don't know. It's okay. Sometimes I'll get people. Oh wait, hold on. What is that? What is that? I'm getting distracted by katakana. It's one of the R's. Anyway, fuck. I'm almost done with the katakana, and so I'm slowly recognizing stuff. Anyway, I'll look at like view counts, which I don't really like to do because there's really no point in it. It's not really helping anything. It's not going to make me do anything better. I'm still going to end up doing the things the exact same way I do them currently. It's just also, what is that? Stream Elements chatbot. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for identifying yourself as a bot. There's some motherfuckers out there. Because I think on average, the videos for the amount of views that I don't know what I'm saying. Look, I'm just going to be straight on with you guys. There's only 7 of you thereabouts who actually watch all the videos in order. And then another fucking 13 of you who just kind of pick the best bits. And you know what? That's fine. That's your prerogative. I don't really care. These are for me. These are made for me. If you want to pick out the bits that you like the best, that's kind of why I do the descriptions like I do. But at the same time, like, really? There's all that extra stuff out on the floor? Nah, whatever. Some motherfuckers. Listen, I don't know. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I have a list of topics. I was supposed to write another one down, like a note to myself, but I totally forgot about it. I have a list of topics off to the side here. Hey. So, I don't play Uma Musume, but of course, Uma Musume is large enough that I don't really need to play Uma Musume to kind of get the skinny on a lot of the more popular characters. Specifically Haru Urahara, and then like Gold Ship and Still in Love, and you know, all of those other big ones. Still in Love's there for me actually. I mentioned Still in Love because I like Still in Love. I don't know how popular she is literally anywhere else, but that one's for me. So yeah, I get like updates on like the horses in real life. I think Gold Ship's actually the only one that's still alive, more or less. Haru Urara just died like a week ago almost, and that sucks actually. Everyone's favorite little horsey. I have heard of Haru Urara's track record, and I strongly suspect that she was running some gold ship level shit. Of like, I could go farther, I could go faster, but I actually really like just chilling back here with all the other horses. This is fun. But Haru Urara died at like the comparative age of 75 or some shit. I think it was actually real. In real life, she only lived like 14 to 20 years. I don't know. This is something I can look up, but I don't know. But full life. And well, I wanted to say this is why I wrote it down. I I still kind of stand by it, but not really. I think now that the horse is dead, they said something fucking weird. Now that the horse is dead, I think Haru Urara should be made into a modern minor goddess. And that's the things that just passed my mouth is fucking stupid, and I'm aware of this. However, people already more or less used to worship Haru Urara. They would buy tickets betting on her for traffic safety because they knew that it would not hit. Like, there's already talismans to, like, everybody knows her. Come on. We got a little minor modern mythology here going on. Come on. Anyway. That one off. Where's my pen? There it is. I'm having a lot of fun with my pens recently. Missing shit all over the place. Clean this place up. Within the week, it already looks messy, but in a different way. In a stupider way. This is what happens when I keep a million notes down and have no place to put them. If I put them somewhere else, then forget about them, and yeah, whatever. Let's see. No, that does do fake. F-U. To. Weird. Nope. Gia. Okay, hold on. Let me. Fuieto. You can see my mouse now? Fuieto. That's F-U. It's E for some reason. I-T-O. Ho. H-O. That one's... I think it's an R? I'm not there yet. U. Horu. Maybe? Horu. Ra. I do remember that one. I do remember this being Ra for some reason, which annoyed me because that's also you in hiragana. What are we doing here? Anyway, whatever. Who might have judged a different language? Atara. Gia. That one is... It looks like Ku, but it... Ataraxia. Okay, no, I see it. Hollow Traxia. Okay. Anyway. Was I in the middle of a loop? Oh. I forgot. And here I was fucking around for the past... It's been 15 minutes about. I guess we're doing this. I don't know how long this episode's going to be then. The curtains fall. The buzzer signaling the end of the performance sounds, and the whole residence is sinking into a deep darkness. Into a sleep so deep, none would revive and awaken before the 5th day. There won't be any more encounters. I don't know who's talking. That was quite easy. Well, if you think about it, only 4 days have passed. Maybe it isn't enough to develop affections. There isn't anyone to bid farewell to, nor is there any luggage to bring home. See ya. I waved my hand and retreat backstage. I think it was Avenger. The date'll change soon. On the night of the 4th day, the black moon comes to kill me as I stay behind. That's the foundation I'm going to destroy. The end of the wish. The completion of the puzzle. I move straight to fill the last crevice from which the void is born. I continue on, stifling the screams. This is the tower that I will reach the hollow sky from. Since I already know that my true identity is, the path to return to where I belong should appear here. On day 4, at the end of the performance begins, I finally arrive at the dance floor leading to the hollow sky. Stairs. The moon darkens. The town overflows with corpses. This body welcomes the appointed time, and I start dissolving into a monster, neither myself nor myself. And there, I am surprised. There is a shadow on the rooftop. A shadow with flowing silver hair, just like the other day. Isn't that too much of a service to have you come all the way here yourself? The one unmanaging me and guiding me is waiting. It's not. Meeting you on the 4th night has become something of a habit to me. I can't respond without a hint of embarrassment, just like always. Now that you mention it, you're right. Well then, what did you come here for tonight exactly? Oh, now that you mention it, you're right. Well then, what did you come here for tonight exactly? I have come to be your escort. I do not know how far I can go, but I will accompany you as far as I am able. You got a problem with that? That's the line between lines. My mouth stretches into a grin. Damn. That's the case, and I can't help but get motivated myself. It's still way too much service from you. I don't think any of this is in your job description. Am I bothering you? It's the other way around. You move me to tears. It's awful to not have a partner to show off for. Anyone's fine, just having you nearby helps. Ah, a true friend in my time of need. Facing the hollow sky, I step forward. The path towards the Holy Grail appears as if greeting its owner. Are you afraid of heights? I am not. After all, I did fall from the moon once. Alright. In that case, let's go up there together for a bit. I think I might miss a step or two on my own. I turn around and extend my hand. Since I've gotten so excited about this, I'm able to keep holding myself together. You do not even have to ask. It is in order to guide you that I came here like this. Our hands are joined, our fingers entwined. The moment I take a step off the ground, I will revert to my old self. The show comes to a close. This is the last time I will be the main character. Miyama Town's overflowing with red lights. There's no time to stop and think. Behind the doors of a closed theater, last roll of films put on. Every step I take causes reality to fade away. Every step up causes time to accumulate and stagnate. It was just minutes ago that I started the descent, but it seems to have started so long ago that I can no longer recall when or where it began. I'm fading away. At times, my creaking limbs feel as if they're going to give in to my raging urges and fall apart. I'm not the only one to be taking damage. The woman holding my hand grimaces in pain every time. She's a fine partner to show off to. How far does this go? I continue climbing up the stairs while cursing, displaying humanity all the way. I guess that was him. How far does this go? Yeah. Come to think of it. Emi Ashira had a memory similar to this as well. Two people walking up the long stairs together. I wonder when that happened. It's only been an hour, but I've completely forgotten about it. Look, the red light has stopped. I look down at her urging. The monster horde that descended upon the town has stopped, unable to enter Shinto. Miyama is awash with red. My remains rampaging in the sleeping town. I gaze at the repulsive sight for a while. I climb the stairs. The ground is far away, and the sky is near. A dream given form, someone's wish. With every step, all the things that were sought after but never given become more distant. It feels like the story of a faraway land, and completely unrelated to me. How many times did I walk along those streets? How many times did I reflect upon the ordinary? There's no place which I didn't know. There's nothing I didn't experience. With every turn, the not yet known blank piece of paper at the start had been slowly filling up. And the more it filled, the dimmer its lights became. The more I fall in love with the everyday routine, the more I look forward to every new day, the more I lose this glimmer. I knew from the start that it was inevitable. Consequence. I had more than plenty of fun. I don't need anything new to happen. No matter if they are always the same 4 days, I can keep up the contract to continue repeating them forever. And yet, I kept on doing completely unnecessary things. Why? It couldn't have been just the influence of the personality I've assumed. I'm probably tired of this, that's all. I just feel like ending it because I'm simply tired of it all. It has to be that. Or else I might just feel like throwing everything away. My silhouette distorts. I almost miss a step. You will be fine. You can certainly be patient, can you not? Her tightly grasping fingers deny it vehemently. Yeah. There's a difference between ending and not continuing. If I stay here, it'll be forever stagnant. Soon enough, the nothingness will just be within an arm's reach. Soon enough, my now tightly clenched fingers will be grasping nothing but thin air. The earth is now veiled in clouds, and I walk towards the stars. Say, what are you trying to end this wish for? Muffled by the wind, I suddenly hear her voice. What for? I don't know that I remember anymore. But I do remember what I wanted, above all. See the end of this road. To release the woman who's been fiercely protecting the Holy Grail in this black cocoon. Even though she is trying to kill you, why are you so fixated on her? Why? No reason. I forced myself on a woman out of anger and lust. Yet she's what I care for out of longing and affection. It is surprising. I thought you hate humans. Of course I do. Detest them in much the same way that many people feel anxious in the company of their own brethren. This wicked malice is born from the righteousness that rejects weakness. For as long as I am worshipped as an antagonist, I will continue to fulfill this function. And it will remain that way for all eternity. I gotta turn my fan off, hold on. Cool air is nice after a hot shower, but after a while it's just cool air. And it will remain that way for all of eternity. Evil is not born, it is created. Certainly, weak people do exist, but the weak are abundant in any ecosystem, any species. The wickedness of a single soul has hardly any impact on nature as a whole. The very system that man is brought up in, both his greatest strength and weakness, is in itself evil. Human emotion that leads astray and gives them fire. With no special being to guide them, many apathetic souls will veer off the right path. Lives which celebrate nothing but existence. They affirm their prosperity by bringing out a god and cleansing their own malice. All the evil in the world. What a joke. It's nothing but another term for a human. I am born from humanity. As long as you are human, you're able to reproduce any kind of evil. Repugnant individuals, repugnant society, repugnant ideas. There's no excuse. Living beings should not be able to regard their brethren as evil in the first place. Even so, there's still value in life, even in living beings which created evil. Even if there's no value in humanity, there's meaning in all of its history that has accumulated up until now. Even if they stay wrong for an eternity, as long as those hands are able to do something, surely there will be something they can save. Like a journey to the stars, aiming for the distant sky, and climbing up a long, long stairway. I had noticed since a while back a faint sigh of relief. Her lips part. You're like a rock star. She sings those words like a song. I don't understand the metaphor, but being compared to a star can't possibly be bad. They certainly do exist. My hands will never reach them. They were one of the few shining things I was able to see. The sky is near. The world of humanity will soon be over. Only those that belong there in the first place will be able to proceed further. There's no need for words. Just as it happened to me the moment I left the ground, her body too was slowly disappearing, as if announcing the coming of the finale. I search within myself to see if there's anything left unsaid. Can't come up with any witty remarks, but I do recall something I forgot to tell her. I might actually know your father. I see. It is fine. I already know that very well. Assured quick reply. If she says so, that's that. Our conversation finally ends. Nothing but the sound of the wind remains. I do not stop, nor do I avert my gaze from the sky. I can barely feel the hand that I've been clasping all this time. The moment we grip each other's hands to strengthen the vague feeling of touch is the moment we will realize we are both illusions, I'm sure. I was aware of being an illusion from the start. A being that did not exist in the city through these 4 days were mere fiction for the others. They will remain our only rendezvous. Vanish into thin air. No matter how real this girl is. Because of the correct reality, we never met even once. I do feel a little attached. I worked hard to, yet I still ended up becoming attached to one thing. Come to think of it, the moments I spent being myself were only with this girl. Having those moments disappear is a little painful. Well, even that has to end. Alright, looks like we're close now. I can only feel the pinky finger now. And it is already semi-transparent. The girl stops, and I go on ahead. My connection breaks off easily, as it never existed in the first place. See you. After I'm gone, please go see me again. Not for my sake. For the sake of this memory that did not exist. That had no meaning whatsoever. I can't guarantee my actions after I return. I can't say that I will not return to my country immediately after I finish my duty. As if... Hold on. As if this person who only loves making fun of idiots with emotional scars has no reason to go back quietly with such a treat in front of her. I want to see who that was. Yeah. Come on, work with me here. Nope. Although I do want to see that later. Config. Volume. Who was that? It was her. Okay. I'll retake that. I cannot guarantee my actions after I return. I cannot say that I will not return to my... I thought so immediately, because return to my country. Immediately after I finish my duty. As if. This person who only loves making fun of idiots with emotional scars has no reason to go back quietly with such a treat in front of her. What did you think about the past 4 days? Me? I do not hate the city. And there's no problem. If she could think this way here, and the real her on the outside should think the same as well. And her words, well, my shameful attachment lessens just a little. Yeah, doesn't matter if it's in that gloomy church or that stupidly noisy house. Karen, let's meet up again. Next time as you wished. I shall be that much more gentlemanly. This foul-mouthed demon will be possessing me again. Oh. That was Shiro talking, okay. Doesn't matter if it's in that gloomy church or that stupidly noisy house. Karen, let's meet again. Next time, as you wished. I shall be that much more gentlemanly. This foul-mouthed demon will be possessing me again. The presence behind me disappears. That's right. Goodbye, Angora Manyu. As a special exception, I shall overlook exercising you. A little warmth remains as soon as swept away by the wind. I don't have to turn back to know white flower is gone. It was a big lie to say that my attachment lessened. This way it will never become any lighter. I could see the last stop. The thread of salvation that floats to earth is gradually breaking. On the land far below. I wonder if the dead, kept in check by the guardians, are watching my ascent into the sky. Just like that time long ago, when I looked up at the stars from the top of the mountain, looking at the fading brilliance with envy and resentment in my heart. Last interlude. Oh shit. A spider's thread hangs down the lowest level of hell. Urged on by the evil omen hanging from the sky, corpses crawl out and overflow from a hole in the underworld. Tonight is the appointed time. The end of the fourth night. One that returns this battle to its beginning. They're like ants swarming around honey. The corpses are reborn from the pit to bring down their own self, the one seeking to break free from this endless cycle of death and rebirth. There is no night beyond this one. The corpses multiply infinitely and cover the streets without end. I was wondering what was happening with us. This is pandemonium itself. A hell bearing the will to kill a human, to kill itself, manifested to fill the night. Yeah, they don't. Okay, yeah. Well, they share something. I wonder if they're not afraid of, that. Far above in the skies. She raises her eyes to the stairs of over 2,000 meters in height and mutters indifferently. It's all pure nonsense. But if you're willing to go that far with your feminine tastes, then I suppose it would be more uncouth to complain. She shrugs her shoulders in resignation. It's a primitive and theatrical spectacle, but this stairway is definitely impressive. A bridge of light bisects the sky. A protagonist and a princess walk the translucent stairs hand in hand. She looks up at the scene, one that can no longer even be found in fairy tales nowadays. Despite how hopeless the situation is on the ground, you can't help but break into a smile. I thought so. At any rate, there's a bit too many here, aren't there? Holding the fort from atop the bridge's support arch, she returns her gaze to the surface. Yeah! She and Archer were scouting this place out, weren't they? Miala sinking into darkness. I thought that's what they were talking about with the Guardians. Yeah. Welcoming the end of the fourth day, the town undergoes rapid transformation. Lights fade. People vanish, and the liveliness of the town freezes in place. At this place, in this moment, the only ones who exist are those who participated in the Holy Grail War. The day and night, which had never mingled until now, interchange, and those who could never cross its paths, do. The adjoining plane of reality and fantasy, truth and untruth. This mere hour is precisely the borderline that separates the fourth day from the fifth. I know that already. This isn't something I had predicted. They had completely covered the whole of Miama in under an hour. I think that was Archer, I don't know. For humans, infinity is a metaphor. No matter how many, no matter how much you exceed the bounds of human deduction, all things have a limit. Infinity is nothing more than a word, brought forth by the limits of our cognition. But the thing before her eyes differ from that kind of incalculable concept. They are truly infinite. A limitless, propagating chain. A final legion that became a conclusion at its beginning. Circuit of death, with no breaker to annihilate itself, stoppable by none. A twisted ecosystem, at the end wholly covers the ground. 500, 600. Now even what's visible has already exceeded 1,000. All the mystic codes she had mustered together, and the feeling of jewels grasped tightly in both her hands no longer feel the slightest bit dependable. These could not delay them for even just a few minutes. Surely they will collapse the bridge in the blink of an eye around the tower rising over Shinto and voraciously bring down the spider's thread. At the end before her eyes, she grits her teeth. If the earth is hell, the sky is the land of fairy tales, then the support arch she stands on is their boundary. Placing herself at the crossroads, she gazes at the distant sea. Above, there's a vapor trail cutting straight across the skies. Below is an endless swarm of poisonous moths. As for where she would place herself, well, there's no question. I am a Tosaka mage, the supervisor of this town. She clenches the jewels in both her hands. No more looking up to the sky from now on. She'll fulfill the role she's assumed for herself and continue to protect the border. However, she has trouble controlling her breathing. The more she gazes at the surface, the more her gritted teeth creak. Her stiffened legs lack their usual lightness, and her shoulders are numbed by an unfamiliar pressure. The corpses march on. They will penetrate the boundary. Before that happens, she will mow down the first wave. But she's trembling, unable to take this first step. Damn it, this is so pathetic. Whack goes her tightened fist against her forehead. She acknowledges being up against the odds from the start. Having taken a stand here, she has no choice but to fight until exhaustion. Unthunk. Moving her wooden legs, she takes the first step towards the swarm below. Begin is what that says in the small text. There will be no retreat. One more step, and she will be leaping towards her death. That's good you're so enthusiastic, but shouldn't you let your shoulders relax a little? Oh, but it really is like you. Massacre them all, or not. Fight it all, that is. Huh? The all too familiar voice ruined her departure completely. Hey, wait. Massacre? What do you mean that's like me? I may not look it, but I was known as a deeply compassionate, honest student in London. She loosens up a little. She stops herself and retorts without looking back. Well, I meant it exactly the way I said it. If it's a race, you'll try and come out a lap ahead. If it's a fight, you'll hit them so hard they'll never dare face you again. Now, does that compassion come in before or after that? It's regrettable, but that's exactly how it is. Policy is to do the job thoroughly, all the way. It was never her style to go for defensive strategies than considering how long she can hold out or how to protect a battlefield. I see. So I just need to exterminate them all. This is no border. It's a front line. I screwed up. A mistake like that was sure adding some extra weight on my shoulders. She rotates her shoulders casually. It's like a baseball game. All the bases are loaded with none on the ninth inning, and the batting order from the second player. If you even allow 1 point, say bye-bye to the trophy. The pitcher had been giving undivided attention towards protecting the team, but his spirits are brought up high again, ready to throw one pass right past the batter. But still, there may be a bit too many. I don't intend to lose, but there's always a chance. Alright, when push comes to shove, I'll sink the bridge and then with it. Wait. It's great you returned to normal, but that's a little overdoing it. If you destroy the bridge, they'll be harder to control. They're simple beasts. If the bridge falls, they'll just cross the river themselves and pour into Shinto. But as long as the bridge is there, they will naively believe there's no other path. I knew that already. I'm just saying it to make things more interesting. Sheesh. She clicks her tongue in dissatisfaction, as if she wants to say that destroying one or two bridges would make for a nice view. Really now? That's the goal of the wayside of you. Haven't you picked up any ladylike manners during these 6 months at all? This is who I am since I was born. What about you? Your habit of talking too much can't be cured, can it? Mine depends on who I'm with. For the time being, I'm connected to a master who occasionally needs to be advised. What a coincidence. Mine also happens to know someone... What a coincidence. I also happen to know someone who likes finding faults with others a little too much. She breaks out into a smile at this pointless exchange. In the middle of the bridge, directly underneath them, the corpses march on. This is the last opportunity to start the battle. Okay. Are you with me, Archer? Yes. A servant is one who follows his master. Since this is the end... Yang! Finally, I can fight without holding back. The red cloak appears. As a symbol of fighting for her, the bowman displays his holy shroud. Needless to say, there's a deeper significance to the armament. The red symbol is used only on proper battlegrounds, when there's a master worth serving. Nostalgia that ought to have been forgotten long ago burns in his chest once more. For just one moment. For a moment that'll last until the break of dawn. He's back to the self that used to stay at her side. Idiot, you fuss over the silliest things. You're either way too principled or just pretentious. What? As far as being principled goes, I'm still behind you. After all, we're wagering our lives against I'm not sure whom, for I'm not exactly sure what reason. Jeez. Has nothing to do with us whatsoever. I value your generosity, but this is why you can't readily give out favors. Yeah, I guess that rate hook is really going to cost me. She focuses on the enemy. Her magic crest spins up halfway to full capacity, setting her magic to half the maximum power. There's a long way to go after all. She has no choice but to fight on the bridge to the bitter end, right until the rainbow hanging in the sky vanishes. I'll leave the first strike to you. After you stop the vanguard of the group, I'll go down to the bridge. It'll be war attrition after that. Keep making holes in them from here, and I'll mow down the ones that escape. Any Oh. Alright, sure. If that's how you want to go about it, sure. I'll leave the first strike to you. After you stop the vanguard of the group, I'll go down to the bridge. It'll be a war of attrition after that. Keep making holes in them from here, and I'll mow down the ones that escape. Any questions, Arun? No objections from me. I'm sure there'll be a few that manage to get through the twofold attack, but why don't we just ignore them? Our duty is to exterminate the army. We'll think about the small fry after taking care of the enemy in front of us. There's no telling how many corpses will break through this formation. And there'll probably be some that swim across the river and head to Nishito on their own. But those are still less than 1 in 1,000. The outliers will have to be taken care of by those who walk the sky. Well, speaking of meddlers, we aren't alone either. Let's leave the minor details to them. Her crest is filling with light. Nimbly, she releases the magical energy, and magecraft stored the gems in the shortest time possible. Anfang. A huge flower blossoms in the dark stained ground. The magic blaze lifts the curtain of the battle, turning into a star on earth that illuminates the path to the sky. Hey! The serpent's fangs pulverize the corpses. The forehead, the throat, the heart, the spine. It is an iron fist that strikes at each of these spots with precision and lightning speed. If this is a swarm of the dead, standing in its way is the embodiment of a fierce god. The dead that crawled out of Kageyama shall meet death once more and be driven back to hell. 3 fatal strikes in the span of one breath. Reinforced through magic, his fists turned into iron clubs which crushed the faces of the dead. But those are just superficial wounds. In spite of losing their faces and their intestines, their fierce claws don't stop coming. They were dead to begin with, and what powers them is not the heart and mind, but rather plain malice. Their mad rampage to fulfill the curse will end only when the bodies are wholly annihilated. Yeah! Assassin? What? Do not mention it, Soichiro. Our enemies flinch not when struck, die not when slain. We're both in a rather poor situation. A lighthearted tone, completely out of place for this battleground. Moonlight reflecting off the 5-foot-long sword in his hands, the samurai steps into the swarm of the dead. The tip of the sword dances in the air. The corpses likely realize that they have been sliced only when they fall to the ground. Indeed, one cannot move after having all 4 limbs chopped off. Soichiro, it may be difficult, but let us aim for the limbs instead of the head. Maybe against your policy of delivering only death blows, but it shall be plenty for these wooden puppets. Flowers and grass. Their ways are different, but words are not required between the 2 masters of their arts. Intersecting, the fists and blade engage the enemies and overwhelm them. Their backs against each other, sprinting through the battlefield, these 2 gods of death continue to overwhelm the dead. Hype. But how come you changed your mind, Soichiro? You were overlooking them until yesterday, so why'd you step out to stop them this evening? Oh, has this plague happened because of the witch of yours lost control? No idea. If you're tired, go to sleep, assassin. These ghosts will disappear if you sleep. They won't harm anyone who is deep in their dreams. If he sleeps, Therefore, he had overlooked the shadows roaming the streets at night until today. That still makes no sense. If what he says is true, then all he has to do is simply sleep tonight as always. No matter what their number is, there's no change in the fact that they won't harm humans in bed. Oh, so why should you be bothering with all this? I do not know whether you should continue on or go back, but you can still return to your everyday life by sleeping quietly at home. You're right. This battle is her wish. I have no choice but to grant it. Assassin's long sword drops ever so slightly. The samurai looks stunned, and taken by surprise. I see. That is in fact certainly true. I thought you would never be able to depend on you, but it looks like you've changed your mind a little, caster. Oh dear, you're rather sweet, aren't you? Hush, quiet, you blockhead. Yeah! Arrows of light rain down from the sky. The witch's hammer turns into a squall and washes the dark away. Oh, looks like some external medicine's what the doctor ordered for these creatures after all. Caster, how to show off your specialty? Looks like the wolf in sheep's clothing is no longer feigning innocence tonight. That's enough, assassin. Your role is to provide backup for our master. If you can't do that, then I shall return you to Ash along with the small fry. Do not be so angry. It's your desire that I fight alongside Soichiro, is it not? Same as yourself. My master's delight is my source of joy. If you are happy, then I am as well am happy. That being the case, I may as well act without restraint. Any man would do the same, wouldn't you agree, Soichiro? Seems you're putting a bit more force into your punches than usual, are you not? Sorry, I am not about to hold back. Not in front of my spouse. He said it. I'll have to trouble you, Caster. Both of them are bewildered. Those that know him will surely realize how unusual it is to hear such a remark. Caster, reinforcements are coming. Whether you are protecting Ryudo Temple or going to stop the culprit, it looks like we don't have time to talk much. What is this? Oh, I see. I'll leave the coordinating to you. I'll fight as you wish. Such an opportunity probably won't come again. Soichiro-sama. That is why you should have no regrets. Is that what you wanted to say? Kazuki Soichiro embraces her will. A wife guide to the end. The witch accepts the end of the days, albeit with much regret in her heart. Yes, I understand, Master. From now on, I will strive towards my desire without... Oh, no, I understand. Okay. Yes, I understand, Master. From now on, I shall strive towards my desire without hesitation. The bells on her staff ring out. The mage from the Age of Gods starts weaving an even more mysterious spell. So, Caster, what are you going to do? I'm tired of keeping this up. How about we go smash the very foundations? That's not something for one who can't venture outside to say, assassin. We're not obligated to help to such an extent in the first place. As for me, I am content with simply protecting this place, only helping the shameless trash that barges into people's homes with mud on their feet that realize they're standing. The black shadow keeps spreading. Born behind the mountain, many of them descend the mountain towards Miyama. Some of the corpses, pushed by the horde, or even into Ryudo Temple. Nobody hates that more than Caster. Had she wanted to just protect herself, all she had to do was seal her master and herself in the temple. A bounded field to ward off the bodies would have been sufficient for just the two of them. However, on some unknown whim, she did something completely illogical. On their way to Miyama, these black stains had devoured and detoured into Ryudo Temple by chance. Caster burned them all to ashes, not sparing a single one. As a result, having sensed an obstacle in their path, they began concentrating on the temple. What do you expect? I don't care about what's going on down there, but anyone who crosses the threshold of my home becomes my enemy. Yes, I will burn you to ashes, Avenger. It seems that's what you wished for, and besides... A divine aria spreads across the empty sky. Not only is it more than enough to protect the whole of Ryudo Temple, it's a spell well capable of punching a hole in the very foundation they came from. To be honest, I would have liked to continue for a little longer, so I'm taking my anger out on you. Now, feel my wrath! That should have been her noble phantasm. Just saying. Grand Order, come on. Come on. The witch protecting Ryudo Temple burns away the corpses heading into the town. Even if their numbers are unlimited, the annihilated ones will not come back immediately. Like a burst of divine punishment, the sorcerer continues tearing the pandemonium apart. But the outpouring black stain still does not stop. The corpses seemingly cover half of the earth. This place will be protected, no matter what, and the bridge shall greet the start of a new day undefeated as well. The situation at Miyama's looking rather grim, though. Those kids worked hard. Looks like this is it for them. Leaving a sigh of pity or maybe compassion, the witch looks down at the town below. She's looking at the northern part of Miyama, with the eye of a needle. A tiny clearing remains around a traditional residence standing there. Is that right? Come on, let's see Ryder and Sakura. Come on. The waves of corpses, maybe even maybe even Ilya. We'll see. A wave of corpses trying to swallow the Emiya residence whole. Even one such as a servant Ryder cannot repel the onslaught on her own. Had it been only a single wave, she could have used her noble phantasm to sweep them away or petrify them with her mystic eyes. But this enemy is unlimited. Employing her noble phantasm or mystic eyes consumes a large amount of magical energy. She may hold the upper hand for a while, but as her reserves run dry, she'll become unable to offer barely any resistance at all.
Ryder, behind you!
I'm calling the shot of that it's Sakura. Ryder's hair flows, reacting towards her master's voice. Oh? Her hair, you say? Her blade and the claws clash. Okay. She has nowhere to escape after leaping to the back. The corpses having invaded over the stone walls attack Ryder as if competing for an achievement. With her speed, she can slip through one or two of these claws easily. But these claws surround Ryder like a dense forest of spears. Yeah. Sakura? Yeah! Yeah! The previously unstoppable Ryder abruptly comes to a halt. The magic being employed now is by her master, Mato Sakura. Yeah! Yeah, baby! Even Sakura is still a mage, and using magic once or twice shouldn't warrant any surprise. However, the kind performed just now was one that Mato Sakura detests the most. Was it not taboo for her to draw on her innermost dark self, bearing her dark side ache into a blade? You can see it in the sleeve. You must not. It's still too early for you to use magic that weaponizes pure magical energy. I shall intercept them, so please maintain the field inside the house. The anxious voice makes for another fatal opening. The swarm of the dead pounce on the still servant. Alright, let me read this first one. I'll have to do. Es flüstert, mein Nägel reißt Hauser. My voice forms a prayer. My fingers scrape the earth. Ah, nice. A vast shadow skewers the intruders as if they were mere fog, capturing and swallowing them into the world below. That, the side of her she should have possessed as a mage. The vortex of darkness has no trouble sweeping the dead back to where they came from, the underworld, to be able to bind opponents with invisible uncertainties. That is the special trait of the imaginary number magic. Sakura!
I'm fine. I can handle this much. Don't worry, Ryder. I've worked hard for the past 6 months.
Straining her voice as if trying to encourage herself, she manages to keep her trembling legs and a body about to rip apart when the magic's recoil in check. Does she respect her master's decision and continue defending the place, or does she take Sakura and flee elsewhere? There's still time to escape. With her noble phantasm, Ryder can carry Mato Sakura to Shinto in the blink of an eye. In spite of that...
Ryder, concentrate on protecting the outer walls. I'll take care of the ones that break through.
She retains her faith in Sakura, who is now holding her ground desperately against the enemy, and turns to her own battlefield. Originally, Mato Sakura does not have the foundation to perform magic on her own. By forcing her own darkness, her magic circuits can emit nothing but her shadow. To the surface, she's able to function as a mage temporarily. By doing that, she is crushing the human side of her. In that state, she may well be swallowed by her dark side, if her heart wavers even a little. Ashamed and fearful of that more than anything, she grits her teeth and continues on.
Es flattert, mein Nägel ist Westhauser.
Thinking about it, this conflict could have been avoided. No, it should have been avoided to begin with. The remains of a servant enveloped the town. Night after night, these things were bursting out and overwhelming the place. And Rudder sensed that immediately. But she did not put up a fight. It would simply pass through those who were asleep. Indulge in sleep as usual, and they will disappear by the time morning rolls around.
Das mein Blut widersteht Invasion.
My will is absolute. My shadow shall wield the sword. Okay, interesting.
Mein Blut widersteht Invasion.
Invasionen. Every time she repeats her aria, she languishes more and more in pain. She spits out words as if they were blood.
I won't lose.
A frail, powerful voice.
I won't lose here.
On this night, before they realized, Ryder and Sakura were alone in the Emiya residence to greet the midnight end. The ones who advanced forward are the ones who defend. Saying nothing, they headed to their respective posts, leaving only Sakura behind.
I won't lose.
The despair Sakura felt when she realized it was excruciating. She was alone again. Having been left on the sidelines, away from danger, she was dejected at the thought of being the only one under protection.
I'm not done yet.
And thus she made her choice. To stay back here and fight. To protect the home of someone precious.
That's right. I wasn't left behind. I was entrusted with this place.
Even if she can't, she will try and protect it to the bitter end. How could Ryder possibly pluck off this tiny emotion out of care for her master?
Well, we were, as a matter of fact, left behind. No! I forbid you to utter such disheartening words. Look, Ryder, the storeroom. Many of them are going there.
Really? Storeroom. The purple serpent slithers swiftly up the wall. Ryder intercepts the avalanche of attacking creatures. The black flame protects her back. As the only mage remaining here, the girl that was left behind confronts the swarming corpses. The trivial defenses would probably last for another hour. Only 1 hour. This but a drop in the bucket, though will have no influence on the bigger picture. Sooner or later, the girl's determination will be swallowed by darkness. Unfortunately, these corpses lack any kind of intellect. If they could think, they would surely sneer at such desperate defense. They would realize there's nothing to be gained here, and would concentrate on the front line instead. As she's still more than half her strength and magical energy left, the girl is gradually forced into a corner. Which is no surprise. These overwhelming numbers come from an infinite sea of malice. Her mind would snap before their strength fades. That is the obvious conclusion. She feels as if under a pouring rain. Mixed in with the hail of sneers and killing intent, she begins to hear the sound of the unavoidable end, though she's unsure whether it is thunder or tremors. Not satisfied with the mere swarm of the dead, a battering ram hits her with the force of a runaway train.
Right there.
Her purple lips form the word run. With this, cremation follows the bitter fight. All that's left is to pray that her foolish determination would not be swayed by the shrieks of her deathbed. And then... the sound? And then...
Los.
Yeah, there you go.
Los. Go and smash them, Berserker.
Goes charge. As a new lead enters the stage, foolishness changes to reassurance. I freaking knew it. Fuck it, bring Tiger here. He can fight like a servant. Yeah, baby.
Los, los, los.
A violent, devastating force. The little girl and the giant mow down obstacles to their heart's content. With each swipe, corpses fly in the sky, and the Emir residence loses more of its walls.
There.
It is hardly surprising that Ryder is at a loss for words. They no longer seem to be allies. The girl and the giant are just here to cause destruction.
Ilya-san, why are you here? Why? I couldn't stand to watch, so I decided to drop by. I got no plans to side with anyone, but it's unfair if things continue this way. That's why.
A charming smile. Even now, as corpses are being pulverized around her, the little girl looks as if she's in the middle of a ballroom.
Unfair? Ilya-san, do you know who the enemy is? Nope. No way I'd bother with all those details. I'm referring to you and Reen. Everything you've been saying is just so stupid. Defending this place to the end, was it? That's just no good, Sakura. That's why you can't win over Reen. Huh?
Her words make Mato Sakura's mind go blank. Dumbstruck, her eyes are nothing but tiny dots. And yet, her spirit that had been about to break lifts up its head once more.
Ilya-san, what do you mean by... As long as you're on the defense, you can't possibly win. Hey, did you know that Rin moved to the front line promptly and has been using the best spot all by herself? Instead of fruitlessly sticking to someplace like here, she chose a...
Oh. She's purposely destroying the Emiya household so that Sakura can go over to the bridge. Okay. Smart. Shiro may not like that if he knew what was going on, but smart.
Instead of fruitlessly sticking to someplace like here, she chose a more exciting and high-scoring position. That's all. Isn't that also the most dangerous rather than high-scoring? It's the same thing. In the end, Rin's still only defending and not attacking too. Don't you think that's a little dull? Since we know where the stronghold is, it's way faster if we crush it there instead, and more importantly... It's an even higher scoring spot than Nissan's? Exactly! I'm going. I don't know if I can make it there, but I just can't leave it to Rin alone. What do you do, Sakura? You gonna come with us?
A wordless reply. After hesitating, she gulps and looks back at the little girl.
Well then, we're off. Let's go, Berserker! This is our only chance to shine! Don't hold back. Destroy anything standing in your way. Show them your strength.
Hold on, I'm gonna... Ah! Please only talk once, Berserker. I can't do it again. The runaway train picks up speed again. Following her guide, the giant plunges into the black snowy field. The destination is its source. They head towards the overflowing graveyard without knowing whether they will arrive there or not. Even if they can't achieve their goal. So they're trying to meet up with Castor's group then, is what it sounds like. The impact of their actions is no longer but a drop. It's a ripple that will now sway the big picture. The interlude continues. A few lights glow in the dark. A resistance so small as to be immeasurable. They take upon themselves to stop the dark horde. In the end, it's nothing more than putting a band-aid on an open wound. The wound will not close. Despite all their efforts, they cannot stop the end from coming. No matter how desperately the bridge is being defended. Oh, that's right. I was going to say, who's fucking next? Is it the fucking archery club and fucking, them? No, they're not here right now. They the thing said that it was only the Holy Grail War participants. Which begs the question, is Shinji here? And is Zoken here? Because if so, I don't want them. I don't want them here. Let's see. Are we missing somebody else? Where's Lancer? Lancer could do something here. Saber. Does Saber count? No matter how desperately the bridge is being defended, there is no way to prevent the corpses from landing in Shinto. It has been 1 hour since the manifestation of the pandemonium. The creatures that penetrated their defenses scatter away like black dots and begin to roam around Shinto. The best of their efforts is still insufficient. That is a steep price to pay for peace and tranquility of everyday life. Thus, there is but a single way left. For the few teams of masters and servants keeping the advancing corpses in check. Without the strength to fight against the eternity of the creatures, they'll have no choice. They'll have no chance to greet the new dawn. That is too much to ask for. On this night, when almost everyone is asleep, where could such a savior be found? The loud choir of corpses sing a song of victory. Back to the start. Smiling, they rush towards the moon altar, the path winding all the way down to the moon. But let's see that saber. Stop. Can't you be a little quieter this hour? Kids need their sleep. Oh. Can't you be a little quieter at this hour? Kids need their sleep, and they won't be getting any with all this racket. An impossible force exists here. Entering Shinto, the corpses head towards the tower. They couldn't possibly know. If the creatures that envelop the city are like a big wave, then he is like a typhoon. An incarnation of savagery itself that would blow away anyone with a lesser will. And there he is. That boy is enveloped in a peculiar scent. Silver ashes at his feet. Swirling aroma enshrouds the young man and the enemy like smoke. Hey, I won't ask you what you are or where you come from, but good evening. Seeing such numbers come out this hour, I wonder if there's a big festival or something going on. The boy stays exceedingly calm. In spite of the outpouring of creatures from the underworld rushing towards him, there's not a trace of timidity in him. Instead, his eminent, innocent visage resembling that of an angel. Well, I'm not interested in whatever's going on. So you guys are all leaders? Yeah, you all look as if mass-produced from the same cast. This is difficult. Leaders are supposed to take responsibility for these things, right? Meaning the whole lot of you need to be fired for the failures of the entire swarm. Some sort of ecological shift appears to take place. Having nothing but a simple objective in mind, the creatures are rapidly unifying around him. First and foremost, for their one common goal. Their instincts tell them that in order to take over the tower up ahead, they need to concentrate the violence here. And second, if all you are leaders, then it can't really be helped. And it's a pain, but I shall hold every one of you responsible. And second, for the first time since their inception, they've begun to feel terrified of the enemy in front of them. The corpses stir amongst themselves. Yet more of them gather around the boy, encircling him ever so tightly. The central park is filled to the brim with corpses. The wasteland, which is the last battleground of the Holy Grail War 10 years ago, turns into a hell once more. I guess where there's one roach, there's bound to be more. Our counterfeit crafter and his master are doing well, but they're just not very good a match for the enemy. Oh, good. Somebody mad about it. Oh, that's okay. Good grief. Good grief. You guys are no army. You're a disease. Multiplying endlessly even if just one of you remains. Why, that's what I abhor the most. Swarm accumulates into a mountain, striving to crush the boy from all sides. Once they swallow him, there will be no end of it. That'll be the end of it, sorry. This unidentified being is still only a minor obstacle to them. They are the side of the invaders. That role will not change. Still, if it's an invasion, shouldn't occupying the tower be their final goal? The situation in Shinto was completely different from Miyama. While there were well over 1,000 corpses to reach Shinto, it's still a relatively small number. In which case, shouldn't they be heading straight towards the tower and not? You don't know what you came here for? Uh-huh. Hardly surprising for a bunch of bugs. You sure get lured out easy by the mere scent of some incense. It's way too much of a luxury for the likes of you, but since we're putting all manners aside tonight, there's no need for me to hold back. Yeah. Seeing as you lot are singing the praises to hell already. A wicked grin spreads across his face. Elation and derision mixed together. A mountain of corpses tower overhead. Judgment is passed there and then. Like the passing of a squall, the invaders returned into endless scatter, shot, and rushed towards him, tearing him to pieces. Oh, shit! What was it again? That was a worthy curtain raiser, a desperate burst of worthless design. It is all to weed out the sin. A storm even greater than the Dark Invaders. The Golden Annihilator has descended. Mongrel? All forms of calamity that deny life. No, deny existence itself. Gather in a rowdy mass before the king. Overwhelming truth befalls the corpses, screaming hell. It's showtime, eh? An ugly job it may be for you, but this too is the duty of a forerunner. As one who knows the truth, stow unto them this lesson. Obeying its master, the sword of rupture roars to life. This itself is the origin of all lands of the dead, the first memory of life. If they scream hell, then it creates hell. Before heaven and earth split, this land was made from lava and gas, a hell of both scorching heat and intense cold. This savagery was never recorded in the history that was passed on, but was written in the genes unseen. That's right. Hell is where all life is not tolerated. The original form of this magnanimous planet. I am opening the path to the underworld. Scream all you want, corpses. Fear not. I won't keep you bored. This whim of mine is once a lifetime occasion, after all. I shall not skimp or hold back my treasures. Wager your lives and endure until the break of dawn. The eye of the storm is in a center of windless tranquility, but a rift leading to hell itself. The corpses that set foot in this realm plummet back into the nothingness from which they came. Which is technically the same shit Sakura was doing, but like smaller. How could one expect the likes of the whales of the damned to stand up to the truth born by the King of Heroes himself? The great army of corpses that had formed in Shinto is thus destroyed. This cannot be called a battle. It is the wrath of nature itself. The distant thunder is without end, and the storm continues opening the path to the underworld. The swarm that landed in Shinto is mopped up by a one-man army. It's a shame this servant never planned to destroy those creatures from the start. He attacks the swarm, but he shows not one bit of interest in the small fry scuttling towards the tower. This one-man army's objective is not to defend the tower, but to rather exterminate the irritating and noisy pests. He pays no attention to the lucky ones, creatures that beat the 1 in 1,000 odds to escape the raging storm and head downtown. And, as you might expect, these lucky enemies are still innumerable. If even one of them manages to reach the tower, corpses will be permitted to exist. That is their greatest weapon. Thus ends the interlude. The innumerable army whose overwhelming force should have guaranteed an unquestionable victory finally breaks down to single units. Nevertheless, they are finally the destination. The stairs leading to the moon. One last move. We haven't seen her yet. Come on. All they have to do is reach out and crawl up the wall. With that, everything will be brought to completion. Rushing along the midnight streets, they struggle to keep the tower in their view. Looking at its peak, happiness starts spreading across their resentment-filled hearts. That is the joy of definite victory. The relief of surviving to the end. It doesn't matter how long or how far the traitor advances. Once they are here, the creature will climb the steps and welcome the new corpse. However, oh yeah, I think I know this music. The thousands of creatures that have penetrated all defenses in their path tilt their heads in confusion. They've already arrived. By now their mouths should have already bathed the tower in crimson red. Yet it remains solid black, as it has always been. The only red is crawling on the ground, scattered around the tower. Stampeding corpses stop. A silent whirlwind envelops the tower. There is no entry but the front door. Come on! Huh? Yeah! The swarm stands completely still in front of its majesty. O numerous corpses, look yonder and prepare thyselves. Thou bears witness to the beauty of a dazzling sword, the embodiment of an untainted ideal, wrapped in an armor of azure and silver. Here, the true guardian stands, the absolute final defense. Enveloping this tower is an invisible shield of wind of mystery, the sheath of our holy sword. The soldiers that made it start squeaking in excitement. There's only one way they have left. No, actually, from the very beginning, there's been no other way for these creatures. Corpses are now a swarm, move into the obstacle ahead of them. Instinct tells them there's nothing but defeat waiting for them, but aggression is what defines them. I have not the slightest interest in what you are, fiends. The knight does not move. There's not a trace of impurity in her shining sword. It is not the heavens her gaze is directed to, but to the corpses in front of her. I will not order you to leave. This is where I embrace the wish of my master, and fulfill it according to my conviction. If you resent this wish, then our stance is clear. Her flowing voice is fierce and calm. No one can possibly know just how much emotion was put into those words. Just like how he did not build farewell to her, she keeps it concealed in her heart. These steps are only for those who honor the future. I am unworthy of stepping onto them myself. Neither are the fiends before me. Should you fail to accept that in your arrogance, no room for hesitation. He is not the only one lowering the curtain. Everyone who gathered and fought on this night, for the sake of the future they wish for, they discard this illusion. Come now, Show your desperation. This blade of mine shall respond to your pitiful challenge.
Yeah.
Golden light drives back the encroaching black pollution. Those who walk the sky may never know of the stars glittering on earth. With this, the interlude comes to an end. Albeit quivering dark red still looms over the town, bright sun rays will surely dispel the darkness in the end. Ooh, there he is. There are no more stargazers left among those fighting on the ground. Their wills, meetings, and partings will all end on this night. And now, one whose heart has long since fulfilled its role watches over the sluggish end of the reproduction that took place in this bounded field. There's nothing left to say. A shining, upside-down comet shoots towards the outside. He sees off the spider's thread, unreliable and frail, yet which managed to reach all the way to the very end. Dawn approaches. Like that, the path continues even now. I'm not gonna help. Come on, man. I do not fear for my crumbling limbs. The only thing that frightens me is losing sight of those pieces I yearn for. I don't want to lose the light and return to the monster that I was. Now then, time to go grant a single wish in exchange for her dream. Thus, I return to this place. An empty place. The outside of the world which does not allow any being to exist or think as I am doing right now. In my infinitely vast, yet consequently small nostalgic home, neither time nor space can exist. However, now there seems to be something like coordinates here. Since I exist like this, it's natural for there to be spatial positions. Those coordinates connect to 2 points of light. The horizon exists, relying on the entrance and exit of the void. I take a step forward. The scene in front of my eyes makes my heart ache. The thing I must destroy. At one time only, miraculous mistake. The kaleidoscope. It was at the Holy Grail, with only one black space left within it. The last spectator, is standing in front of the crystallization of the ordinary days born in this void. The contractor of the Holy Grail, the only human who continues to sleep in this place, has an enemy sharing the same wish, yet hoping for a different result. She's protecting this Holy Grail. Yo, since it's the first time you've seen me in this form, I guess nice to meet you's in order. Good to see you, looking well. I raised my hand without getting any closer. This is as close as we're going to get to each other. It's due to the emotional distance, which already separates us. Stop, Avenger. If you go any further, I will kill you. And there's also the physical problem of being killed if I get any closer. Be a tad inconvenient for me. See, now I've come here with this body, I can't really go back. So there's only 2 options. We either keep up this staring contest forever, or get killed again and go back down below. In that case, I'll kill you here. You've already dissolved yourself in my Holy Grail wall. I will do as I like. You should continue granting this wish with that body of yours. Ah, so that was your aim. Since I'm not getting involved with the winner of the 5th Holy Grail War, don't get involved with my battle either. That's probably what she was proposing. She's gonna kill me either way then. I've been dying like it's going out of style up till now, though. Ain't you afraid I'll run out of revives soon? It won't happen as long as there's empty space in this Holy Grail. It will be brought back to life without limit. Still, unseen developments. The still unseen future itself is your driving force. If you return down below and don't come here again, you can continue on forever. That's right. You can continue on forever. So why? The reddish brown eyes show her irritation. Leave this place. If you don't leave here, I'll just remove you by force. Unwavering hostility conveys that as it assails me. Man, can't you step aside without us fighting? Same to you. Do I need to kill you before you'll understand? Yeah, way to play dirty. You know I can't fight you. If I knew it was gonna end up like this, I'd have made you use up your command spells while I had the chance. Judging by your tone, it seems you do not intend to give up. Avenger, I really don't understand what you are thinking. Even if the same things keep repeating, we can stay alive here. That is precisely the reality we wished for. So why? Why are you trying to do something that'll kill you? Speak for yourself. I was a void from the beginning. Makes no difference to me whether I live or die. It's the same for both of us. If this wish ends, then both you and I will disappear. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to die. I don't care about the world, the reality outside. You don't want to return to the void you once were either, right? The Holy Grail rumbles. Her feelings are a form of impact in themselves. Half of this place is hers. Even though I'm the driving force that keeps the Holy Grail spinning, she has the advantage when it comes to power. I lost the ability to destroy the Holy Grail with brute force a long time ago. There's only one way to stop this wish. She who refuses to let it stop. And my heart, which, in truth, wants to agree with her. I have to lower the curtain completely on both of those. Sure, of course I want to continue living for a bit longer. But you know, I won't be satisfied if I don't right what's wrong. This wish is wrong, right? So I have to stop it. I'm a hero of justice, you see. I value others who I don't even care about over myself. Dumbstruck, she stares at me. Don't believe me, this feeling's absolutely mutual. I can't believe it. Are you sane? Yep, looks like I'm really am sane. I ain't serious about this. Seriously, this guy's a total monster. I shrug. But I can't help it. It's the kind of human I became, and that's the kind of human I've repeatedly gone through these ordinary days as. I couldn't agree with that way of thinking right until the end, but after steadfastly following through with it until today, I can at least accept it just this once. Well, that's how it is. I don't really like it, but I'm okay with one guy like that being around. Well, that's the gist of it, so won't you let me destroy the Holy Grail? Let's put an end to this selfish wish of yours. No. Those aren't your real thoughts. That isn't your true self's wish. Don't act so brave. If you stop things here, then really you won't be saved. That's right. You can't be saved. There never was a real me from the beginning, though. Well, whatever. Let me ask you this instead. Were you so dead set on holding on to this wish? If you stay here, wouldn't you be saved like you said? She doesn't reply. Naturally, if this is the kind of woman that could reply instantly here, she wouldn't be looking for salvation in the first place. I have a reason. As long as I'm here... Oh, shit. Hold on. Where's my water? Good water. I have a reason. As long as I'm here, I can continue to exist like this. That just means you won't die. That's not salvation. But it's easier living here. Compared to the world filled with only harshness outside, it's the same. In case you forgot, I've been your partner for a long time. I know quite well how awkward you are. If things stay like this, you'll keep suffering until the end of time. She distrusts herself. She feels guilty towards everyone around her. She can only boast of specializing in a certain area more than anyone else, yet in the end believes she can't accomplish anything. The harder she trains, the harder she tries, the more she is forsaken by those around her. This sense of defeat is the scar of this woman's heart, never leaving her since the day she was born. But there's nothing else you can do besides striving to do your best. The unsightliness of not striving is harder for you to bear than the unsightliness of being alone. And so, even if you're strong enough to be tormented, even if you're strong, you're tormented by the humiliation of always being the lowest. You couldn't overcome that even here. I'm right, aren't I? No matter how much you won and fought on, no matter how many masters you defeated, you couldn't feel proud of yourself. Not even once. That goes for you as well. You can only hate. You can only devour all the things you love. Let me tell you, lady, it's impossible no matter where you go. That misery can never be erased. It's a burden humans carry until they die. What makes you particularly unlucky is that you happen to meet a guy you thought you could dump your emotional baggage on. He's talking about Kyrie? I feel like he's talking about Kyrie. She really does have the shitty luck with men. Yep, it's Kyrie. That priest is just a mirror that reflects and magnifies the burdens people trust him with. He wasn't to blame. Her weakness is in trying to obtain comfort by leaving the burden to him. Just ended up being the cause of her defeat in the end. Nobody can carry that burden for you. You gotta carry it yourself. The only thing people can support for each other isn't their burdens, but their bodies when the weight's on the verge of breaking them down. And unluckier still, this woman was an intensive training freak, so much that she could somehow support herself alone. That's why she's never had the experience of collapsing. She's mistakenly believes that this burden, this anguish, is something that someone else will support for her. No one's gonna understand your anguish. It's the same in here and out there. Listen, there's no such thing as salvation here. It's only suffering. Wake up, Master. Do you want to keep suffering here for eternity in exchange for not dying? So what? Are you saying that I'll be living my whole life like a loser? I'm like a loser. I'm saying you are one. You got stabbed in the back, so you hold yourself up in here as a loser. As long as you feel that way, you'll be suffering forever.
Enough! Traitor, traitor, traitor! Isn't this place your wish? Then I don't mind even if it's nothing but a pain for me.
The outside world is the same way. Anyway, at least to me. Say, the woman says that continuing to live is hard. That's wrong. Didn't you understand how tough life is since you were born? The way of being is what made you side with her. That way of being is what made you side with her. Made me side with her. This one was weak. I have no complaints about her abilities, but her existence itself is too fragile. Possessing doubts about one's existence is a fatal flaw. A mind that is on the verge of dying at any moment. A pessimism that might lead her to cutting her wrists if she wasn't always bracing herself. However, you still made it this far, didn't you? Sure, you were awkward and clumsy, but you always did your best to become someone even a little better. Pushing hard in spite of being weak, you struggled to improve yourself any way you could. You continued breathing despite the pain up until now. If you don't acknowledge your pride in that, who else will? Stop it. I've had enough of your opinions. Don't talk so high and mighty while ignoring your own problems. You don't even see me. Your eyes can't even see anything anymore. The woman shakes her head. She refuses to discard her wish. Like a child throwing a tantrum, believing that everything will really end if she loses the argument here. It's not just your eyes. You can't even see yourself. I don't want to die either, but your regret has to be incomparable to mine. You wanted to just have fun forever. You didn't even want to fill in the gaps because you knew you would return to the void. And yet you kept those ordinary days moving. But for you, that means... She really is dense. Like I keep saying, I'm more to that stuff. I can't see, huh? What about you? Can you see me properly? I only see a shadow. I'm already fading away into nothingness. You're right. That's how it should be. Don't be mistaken, Master. This body, this character, was born by wearing the shell of Emiyashiro. I am nothingness to begin with. I don't have attachment or regrets. I was just the thing that couldn't think or do anything from the start. That's why it's of no concern to me if I return to the void. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. I won't be fooled. I won't abandon you. Continue granting my wish, Avenger. Even if you're tired of it, even if you can no longer create any more new events, if you're telling me to continue fighting alone, I'll do it. There's still gaps remaining, right? Then fine. Even if they're small, as long as there's still something to be seen. Keep this world turning. Keep going through those golden days. Keep experiencing that which I never could obtain, yet should have originally been given to me. You just don't know when to quit. Sorry, but that's one wish I can't grant. Let's quit wasting time here. I take a step forward. What a joke. In the end, Bazette didn't even try to stop me. In short, she's so angry because... Stop. You're still moving forward even though you know you'll return to being a corpse? Even though you can repeat the fun times as many times as you want if you remain here? Yes, return. Return. It's this obstructive thought that's continuing the wish. If I so much as said the word, then it could have broken long ago. Didn't you enjoy yourself? Didn't you enjoy yourself? I did. It was painful, but in the end, even the pain was... More. And the rest is simple. I'm already tired of this, so I just need to put my obvious conclusion into words. In the end, the pain was the joy of living. I know you don't want to return to that void. Oh. In the end, that pain was the joy of living. I know you don't want to return to that void. This place isn't my wish at all. I'll remind you, this world was your dream. If continuing this Holy Grail war was my wish, and these peaceful ordinary days were... Hold on. A dream I just passed. I can't continue anymore. No matter how fun it is, if I filled all the gaps... No. That's right. But I'm already tired of it all. For the sake of something new. You'll always be here. Might as well see how it ends. Too much ugly lies. God, I hope they'll let me keep this part. The last time it showed something like this, they were like, it got taken down for copyright claim. The tension disappeared. What a shame. It's the expression she's making now. You really are. I'm asked to give it up. With this, I'll vanish without a trace. No matter what either of us wish for. This world's at an end. A voice which asks, why? Jeez, I explained it all just now. So what's she asking me for? Well, of course it'll collapse. Once something is made complete, it's all left is for it to fall apart, right? Once everything becomes nothing, you and I'll just vanish along with it. Why? To become nothing is to become zero, right? You said that as long as there's nothingness, you can revive countless times. So it's only as long as there's a one. There's nothing that's born out of complete nothingness. One uses zero as an empty space to flow through. But if one doesn't exist, then zero can't become anything at all. And there's no concept of one inside me. Everything flows through the void. But the void never partakes in those new events. I see. So this is the end. I experienced so many events, but in the end, I couldn't learn anything from them. A gentle voice. She's a little afraid. As far as people resolve to die go, she's doing a great job of acting prepared. That'll be your homework from now on, then. Well, the whole thing was like an illusion from the start. Can't really expect a prize you can bring back with. Ah, I see. So I can leave that behind at least. Despite everything, I'm still his servant that existed and lived for half a year. I'll make wiggle room for that at least. Avenger? Nah, I was just thinking of myself. More importantly, what's happening to the Holy Grail? It won't last long, I think. Cracks are running along its surface at several places. I see. In that case, this body should be satisfied as well. Stupid monster. You really are insane. Just once, I saw the dream of a stupid man. Unfortunately, his way of life makes me kind of want to hurl. But I'm grateful that I had the chance to become that warped human being. A way of living completely opposite to mine. The form of an ideal that everyone's dreams of and eventually discards once they decide its hypocrisy is evil. That foolish naivety. I probably yearned for it at least once. Alright, come on. Let's go back to our respective places, Master. I completed it for this. How to make sure it all disappears nice and tidy in the end. Avenger, You say return to our respective places, but what am I supposed to do? At this rate, I'll disappear along with you in the Holy Grail. You don't have to follow me that far. Look, you take the entrance here, and I'll take the exit in the other direction. This will be our final farewell. Point towards the horizon. The entrance is the world after this. In other words, the fifth day. The exit is the world before this. In other words, the void. Huh? Why does that ask in surprise? It shouldn't need to be said, though. Well, because you're alive. Can't cross over to the other side if you're not dead, right? Her breath seems to catch in her throat. Well, when you're told that all of a sudden, I guess it's hard to believe. Please wait. I'm certainly not dead. Your wish was not to die, right? I granted it. That's all. At the time, you were in a state of suspended animation. I've been keeping you preserved in that state for half a year. The problem was after that. The woman from the church found Bazette in the secret chamber. Just had to go and oh so generously treat her, which complicated things. If she hadn't shown up, things could have... Nah. They really couldn't have continued much longer. It seems Bazette's body was at an absolute limits. If that woman hadn't discovered her, this 4-day cycle probably would have come to an end one day. Even if I'd continued acting as a life support machine, Bazette's body might not have been able to last in that state longer than half a year. But hasn't anybody ever told you the only thing living can bring... yeah, there it is. There it is that I saw at the beginning. Only the living can bring back the dead. If you were as dead as I am, then you wouldn't have been able to summon me. That's right. The wishes of the dead cannot be granted. It's always the breath of life that causes things to happen. Even if the deceased were to be granted life once again, without a doubt, the dead cannot bring back the dead. Wasn't that the first thing I was told? The only ones that can ever call forth a miracle are the living. I hear something. For a place that should have been hurried off to, for a place that should have hurried off to take its curtain call and dissolve away, it's doing pretty well to hang in there for us. Hurry up. Path won't stay there forever. It's almost dawn outside too. If you escape through here, you'll reach the 5th day you always dreamed of. Then you... Just hurry up and get going. You told me to grant my own wish, right? Don't stop. You stay here, my wish won't be granted. That's all I wished for. What a boring sentiment. I can't. Even if you suddenly tell me I'm alive, what am I supposed to do? In the first place, you're the only one who said that outside is the same... you're the one who said that the outside is the same as in here. Even if I return to reality like this, I... Just keep doing what you've been doing. I may have had a lot to say about it, but you got no complaints. I got no complaints about your way of life itself. You should just keep living like a nervous wreck the way you always have. Well, didn't that stupid priest say it too? If you reach a dead end, cross the ocean. It's the right way. What's that? The world's still going. Even if you're on the verge of death, even if you're writhing in the final throes of agony, still living even now, you're just gonna laugh that off as hopeless? As having no future? If the host is still struggling to live, it's absurd for the parasite to give up. If there's still life remaining, there should still be plenty of things that can be accomplished. I don't care whether those things are good or bad. I can't pass judgment on living beings running through present anyway. All life runs without receiving any reward in order to have their value acknowledged by those that follow after. It's unfair. If you say that, I can't say anything in return. Think of it as a grudge. We demons are naturally dishonest, you see. It's hard to see people with sweet talk. I grinned broadly. Yep, the shadow made my shape made in my shape can actually express that smile. I didn't know that you were a demon. Just a little energy returned to her voice. Say what? Angramine is the name of a great and terrible demon, I'll have you know. It's true, but you didn't seem like such an important person at all. I hear a strained laugh. Great. Jeez. For a wimp of retorts, sure, at least first rate. My lovely master seemed to have begun gazing at the distant entrance that lies at the root of this place. But now I believe you. Telling me a return to the outside world can't be anything other than sweet talk. In short, you're just telling me to continue suffering, right? You got it. I kept it a secret, but I actually love seeing you struggle. My oh my, you truly are a servant that's quite bad at keeping secrets. That was the best farewell I could wish for. Looks like I enjoyed this relationship of ours. Sure, that's the reason why I accompanied her without violating or killing her. That's why I wanted a farewell like this at the very end. We'll part in the same manner as our relationship always has. If there's anything we haven't done, only the fact that we never fought will cover each other's backs, right until the end. Oops, chit-chat ends here. I don't really mind if you don't go through though, but I'll be taking my leave first. Don't worry, for the time being I won't stand still either. But there's something I want to ask you before that. I'm asking this seriously, so please do your best to answer as well. She sounds nervous. Wondering what she could possibly be holding back at this late hour. I tilt my head in curiosity. Why? Why did you choose someone without any redeeming features like me? Just as you said, I am a weakened, a boring human. An awkward question indeed. You really don't get it, huh? Listen, that's what's good about you. I like that weakness of yours. You're self-loathing, and you'll never be able to like yourself. And you know it. But you still struggled on, wanting to become someone even slightly better than before. Awkward people like that ain't half bad, if you ask me. I like people that move forward on their own, regardless of how it turns out. Not for someone else's sake, you mean? That's right. Leave that kind of thing to people who can afford it. You should try being a bit more self-aware of how much you got your hands full with taking care of yourself. You really are an idiot, you know. Her noise get caught in her throat. Can't tell if she's holding back a yell or a laugh. I get it. In other words, you helped me because I'm just another inconsequential human. Yeah. It's precisely because you're such an ordinary human. Precisely because you were so weak. That you were an irreplaceable link to me. I understand. I'll go along with your whim then. That's my girl. Well then, shall we go our separate ways at the same time? Yes. Let's leave with our backs to each other. Somehow I feel like I'll slap you if I see your face now. She speaks with a bright voice. At the very end, I accomplish what I couldn't before. You think that'll work? Do we even have a back? You do. Now turn around. We're back to back now. I don't really feel any sensation of contact, but I'm sure she's behind me. I can no longer feel warmth or anything else for that matter, but my joy-filled heart is still alive and working. Yes, I do. Well, I'm off. You're so impatient. Since we've come here this far, let's start off at the same time. We'll start running after the 3-second countdown. Like sprinters. With a prepped signal gun in each of our hearts. 3. Take a deep breath. Don't try and get a head start and start running before the 3 seconds are up. This isn't a competition after all. 2. I enjoy that typical anxiousness of hers. I think that was her sound talking. You underestimate me. If it were me, I'd run away at the first second. By the time my opponent was waiting for the third second, I'd be long gone. 1. A retort, just like usual. That's true. As for me, after waiting for the 3-second countdown, I'd shoot the opponent that did that in the back. A loud laugh. 0. Vision is filled with nothing but the void. There's no trace of the happiness felt from behind. Hear a crumbling sound. The sound will also probably return to the void soon. Run. Not hurriedly, just an average pace, right until the very end. But I felt the wind on my face until a few hours ago, but now I no longer receive such external information. Sooner or later, these thoughts will chip away as well. The tremors that can just barely be heard are merely the sound of everything crumbling down now. In that case, the sound may be something happening inside. Run. Run. If remember right, the exit was over here. I should have properly checked when I could still see. Within the sound of the fluttering fragments, hear the commotion once went through. On the verge of stopping, but keeping moving. Hear the sound of lives blooming everywhere, and see the spunny spot where it once was. Legs are on the verge of stopping, but keeping moving. Head towards the exit. With unseeing eyes, run through the midst of the fragments of those ordinary days that yearn for more than own annihilation. Just wanted to see something new. Just like how previous self wished for her revival, I wanted to know even one more of those many ordinary days. Even if that meant returning to being, while knowing that death was 10 seconds away, sought the light 1 second after. Run. There's no distance in this void. If I walk towards it and struggle on to reach it, then I won't reach for eternity. Lose sight of the light of the exit when sight returned to the void. There's nowhere to go now that I have returned to the void whence I came. But even so, against these closed eyelids, it feels dazzling. Even while collapsing, the world continues to revolve. I feel grateful and glad for the time spent. Bid farewell to the people who were with me. Thank goodness. It seems there's an exit for someone like. There's a difference between ending and not continuing. So, once said. If borrow the hope in these words, it seems that by ending, you could finally see the continuation. It won't come to a halt and remain stopped forever here. Even if disappear, we'll aim for what lies next. For that reason, filled up the void that composed and completed a single picture. For that reason, we return to the void that is, and complete the picture of the void world. Though you can no longer see that picture, hope that this picture will be beautiful to everyone. Run, run, run. Stars shine. The destination is certain. The torn apart body is only moving forward through willpower. It's alright. There's nothing that can't be reached. Even if the thing dreamed of stop and lose their light. They feel dazzling to eyes. Lastly, say goodbye to current self. Now then, let's see the conclusion at the end. Know that it's just imagination, and that it isn't such a good place. But for now, walk towards that dazzling light. The bright lights of the sun strikes my eyelids. As I start to regain consciousness, I can hear trees rustling in the cold wind that brushes against my skin. Blood slowly begins to circulate again, spreading warmth through my entire body. I've just awoken from a really long sleep. I lift myself off the sofa. Both my body and mind left unused for a long time. I hear a crack every time I move. To be honest, it hurts. Moving my arm and even just thinking is painful. Yet this sensation is also accompanied by pleasure. This pain that I've forgotten. I come to accept it a little more than before. My body. My body. It seems I can still operate, such as it is. My left arm doesn't move, but it was not there in the first place. Seized by a sudden urge, I cradle the lost arm against me. It's a shame I lost it, but there's nothing I can do. I should think of a way to keep on living as before in this state, without averting my eyes. I begin to feel dizzy under the intense sunlight beating down on me. For an instant, the warmth makes me lower my guard. Yo, you awake now, master? A voice comes from behind. A voice I had never heard before, and I feel a deep affection for it. Angra. I turn around and the words trail off. There's no one there. There was nothing there to begin with. Let's continue. Let's continue. The owner of that voice, one that always talked back to me so casually, does not exist. Up from the sofa and towards the corner of the room. There, right in the spot where that someone used to be. Like a farewell gift, something that had been left behind. Picture. A simple, nondescript, white flower. Countless times he attempted to finish it and failed. A piece missing in the center. A puzzle that can never be perfectly complete. And, by filling the void that was himself, he has finally finished it. Fool of a man you are. This is the sort of thing you get anywhere. All sorts of scenes. The most insignificant, worthless patterns. And yet, that's what he viewed as something irreplaceable. Something that will not be praised. Something that nobody will stop to notice. That's the simplistic beauty that had left here. A single drop runs down my cheek. The core of my brain starts to burn. I realize that people can cry with joy, something I never learned as a child. Both regret and gratitude squeeze my chest. I can feel heat in the corner of my eyes, and I think of my regret for a better way that might have existed, and the days I spent in the company of that servant. Come on, let's continue the Holy Grail War, Bazette. This time for sure you wish. It's just my imagination. This is the kind of relationship he wished for, right until the very end. And I, knowing that, was able to carry on somehow. Did I do my part well? Not as a tragic separation, but as partners that do not trust each other going their own separate ways, just as he hoped for. If I did, then I could say farewell with my head held high. That vain show off of a man with his worthless, meager pride. If we were able to keep it until the very end, I'm sure we were the best partners there could be. I guess this is the end. Goodbye, Avenger. Sun is high. It's probably around noon. I check my belongings and notice that one left hand leather glove is still missing. Sticky fingers, or maybe just timidity. If you're gonna take one, go ahead and take a set. I got a ton of things to do. I went missing for 6 months. If the Holy Grail War is over, then I most likely have been written off as dead. Well, first I'll have to arrange for an artificial limb. The Association would have long since erased my position by now, and I have plenty to worry about just figuring out what to do from here on. What was that just now? I heard a sound. Maybe something that definitely wasn't the chirping of birds outside. Honestly, I really let myself go in these few months. Curiosity winning over my sense of danger. I quickly walk up to the window. What I heard was a set of footsteps. I sense a boy and a girl that I remember seeing from somewhere climbing the hill and coming out through the trees. So this is the so-called haunted house, huh? But it sure is lacking a haunted department. We really have to check it out. What are you saying now? We've come so far to turn back. Besides, you're the one who said we should come for a look once everything calmed down. Or what? You getting scared now? No way. It'll take more than a ghost or two to scare me now. Good answer. Well, let's get a move on. I'm actually quite interested in this place too. The boy and the girl walk up to the entrance. I don't know if they're any like a character that we know, so I just made up a voice. Chatting all the way. For some strange reason, I don't feel the will to fight at all. No. If anything, a child's urge to set up a prank comes first. Should I, as the rumored ghost, play the part for a bit? I'm sure they'll be delighted. And as I'm contemplating, I hear a key turn in the door lock. Not given much time to think, am I? Okay then, I wonder what kind of greeting it should be. My face broadening into a grin, I stand at the window waiting for the visitors. Let's continue, he said. Right now, that much is enough. I may not have an answer for the time being, but there's nothing wrong with running on in shameful worry. I'm sure it'll be just as painful as it always was, but there'll be a little bit of joy too. I'll start in this town, that have crossed the ocean. I should go and see the ordinary life that you saw every day. My thoughts drift towards the future. The merry sound of footsteps is getting closer, saying goodbye to the non-existent 4 days that only I knew. I greet the start of the 5th day and my new life. Days come, days go. We still chase the star, weaving the past memory into a beautiful tapestry. The endless 4 days have ended once and for all. From now on, the story is for you to create. Thanks, and let us part this hollow ataraxia. Yeah, I'm gonna mute this just in case. Where's the mouse? Fuck. Ah, look at all those voices we technically didn't hear. I'm sure. Oh, wow. Oh, it's in English. That's interesting. No, I'm not going to show you. I'm gonna get fucking bonked if I do. That was really good. I, you know, usually in a story you can like kind of see the kind of central thesis, like what the main idea is through like the whole thing. If you'd have given me 5 guesses, I would have gotten them all wrong. Now that's just me as like a person who uh fails to interpret stories correctly. But that was a really good ending. It was really good. Like that's so good. I can see why people really like um Bazette and Avenger proper as like a thing. They do have a really fun dynamic to play off of. That whole scene, the interlude, I guess, was so fucking cool. Where just everybody gets to show off gets to show off their moves. Everybody gets to be cool for just a little bit. Even Sakura, who technically can't do that. Ah, is it is it like mean to me that I was kind of hoping that she did go Dark Sakura for like a little bit, considering what she represents? Like maybe, but at the same time, that would have been so cool to start eating up like the beasts by the handful. I don't know. I really do appreciate the fact that Reen and Archer came to the same decision independently of each other. That when the time comes to go kill all the fucking dudes, the bridge is probably going to be the best bet. Like they didn't coordinate on that, as far as I know. Oop, shit, music's on. Thanks, and let us part this hollow Atraxia. Yeah, yeah, I love it when they do this. Ah. So I am gonna go like now. Oh, actually, hold on. Special? Still don't know what that is. God damn it. Why are you 300,000, 30,000? 1,000, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 500, 1,000, 1,000. What's up with you? Damn you. I'd have enough of it to mess up. Anyway. Oh, God, this is so good. Um, the last thing that I wanted to say before signing off. Ooh, you know what? Hold on. Before I get to that, God, I didn't think I'd actually finish Hollow Atraxia anytime soon. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing after this actually. Ugh. You know what? I'll take a look at some things, but maybe I'll try and have some filler stuff. Maybe I'll bring back Don't Look Outside or something new. I don't know. I've been honestly, if I can be like real honest with you guys for a little bit, kind of been eyeing up the Atelier series. I have Ryza and Ryza 2, I think. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to commit to something like really long because once I finish up with Triple C, which I also feel is right around the corner, I think what I want to do is well, that's Triple C. After I finish up with Triple C, I want to go do Extella, and then Extella, continue on from there. Hmm. This is, but this is, I don't know. It's weird to think about, but this is kind of the end of the Stay Night Gang, isn't it? Now, I have the strong feeling that there's. Actually, hold on. If I just start. Redemption Mimicry. Yeah, there's something going on. So push comes to shove, I can probably do some cleanup. Do. Yeah, there's definitely some cleanup to be done. And maybe that's what I'll do next week, next episode, whatever. To the temple. Oh, that's right. I never got to do that. Just planning to see what there is. Because I had heard that there's some stuff like actually with Bizette, but I don't know. Well, and anyway, I guess there might be 1 or 2 more cleanup episodes after this, and then that'll be that, guys. We'll just finish this loop and then we'll see what's up. Streets. Something at the school. Oh wow, really? Hey, I just noticed. Oh, because I finished them all, because those are the last ones. Yeah. And then night. Call it a day. Yeah. So there's some stuff to do. Some cleanup to do. Hollow Ataraxia. Oh, yeah. The fucking movie. Alright. I'm just dragging my feet at this point. What is it? Oh, that's right, the command seal. Who or what the fuck is that? I feel like I'm mixing something. Alright. But yeah. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week. And never forget to Never forget to try and be a better version of yourself that you were before. See you guys next time. Take care of yourselves.